always been about transparency and keeping that customer's financial future and protection at its heart. And so looking at all of what we've seen in the buy now, pay later space kind of unfold over the last several years, and the ability for customers to get access to capital to make purchases and big tickets, I think it was now about time to ensure that customers have that level of transparency and that other lending institutions are able to still see that activity when they're trying to make financial decisions on applications. And so things like reporting into bureaus or having the ability to ensure that customers aren't loading up too much on a whole bunch of these buy now, pay later opportunities is something that the industry, I think, as a breath of fresh air, is kind of exhaling a little bit and saying it is about time. And so for us, we think that very aligned with what came out in that report, and everything that NaluPay really built from day one had that level in mind. So, all of the reporting, all of the consumer protection around disputes and all of those things being built into our MVP as we launched it in March.
Awesome. What are some of the things that buy now, pay later teams can do right now to get better right away, given the report?
I think one of the things that BNPL teams can start doing, if they aren't already, is thinking about how they can apply a Reg C framework, a fair lending framework, the things that big banks have typically done really well. Some might argue that that's part of the reason why big banks are slow to move, and part of what created the BNPL opportunity for these fintech startups anyways. But those regulations exist for a good reason. And to Matt's point, I think it's a breath of fresh air just in terms of making sure consumers know what they're getting into, and there's sort of a fair set of expectations that are uniformly applied across the industry.
100%. It feels like there's a healthy precedent out there already today with a lot of the banks and either partnerships or co-branded cards or even private label cards that have set a great, healthy way that lending should be done. And fintechs have gone and created new and unique areas where either it's been underbanked or unbanked at all, and yet can get back to and has a healthy roadmap for what it means to do it right. And I think that's where these fintechs can easily catch up to, is looking at those who have blazed that trail ahead and said, all right, that's great, we can do that.